Page 132, Or Zaru ala Tzadik, U'Lishnei Lev Simcha, light is sown for the righteous, radiance for the upright. Page 132.
Zaru ala tzadik, zaru ala tzadik. Or zaru ala tzadik, zaru ala tzadik. Or zaru ala tzadik, zaru ala tzadik. U'leishnei lev simcha, u'leishnei lev simcha, u'leishnei lev simcha. Zaru ala tzadik, zaru ala tzadik. Or zaru ala tzadik, zaru ala tzadik. U'leishnei lev simcha, u'leishnei lev simcha, u'leishnei lev simcha, u'leishnei lev simcha.
Page 130, I should say. Come, let us sing joyously to God, raise a shout for God and deliverer. Page 130. Chunranena. Chunranena, l'Adonai, Naria, letzur yisheinu. Chunranena, l'Adonai. Nekamat vanav betzoda, bizmi בזמירות נריע לו. נקמה פניו בתודה, בזמירות נריע לו.
ונרננה לאדוני, נריע לצור אישנו. ונרננה לאדוני, נריע לצור אישנו.
נקמה פניו בתודה, בזמירות נריע לו. נקמה פניו בתודה, בזמירות נריע לו. כי אל גדול אדוני, ומלך גדול על כל אלוהים. כי אל גדול אדוני, ומלך גדול על כל אלוהים. כי אל גדול אדוני, ומלך גדול על כל אלוהים. כי אל גדול אדוני, ומלך גדול על כל אלוהים. ונרננה לאדוני, נריע לצור אישנו. ונרננה לאדוני, נריע לצור אישנו. נקמה פניו בתודה, בזמירות נריע לו. נקמה פניו בתודה, בזמירות נריע לו. נקמה פניו בתודה, בזמירות נריע לו. We're going to turn to page 138 as we welcome the Sabbath bride with the words of Lecha Dodi, page 138. Yalalala Lecha Dodi, yalalala לקראת כלה, yalalala פני שבת, פני שבת נקבלה. שמור
וזכור בדיבור אחד, השמיענו אל המיוחד. אדוני אחד ושמו אחד, לשם הוא
Yalanai b'nei Shabbat, b'nei Shabbat Kabbalat.
Yamin u'smol, tifrotzi, bet Adonai, taritzi, Agadish, ben Patzi, ben Yismecha, ben Nagila.
Yalanai lecha dodi, Yalanai nikra Kabbalat, Yalanai b'nei Shabbat, b'nei Shabbat Kabbalat.
Boi ושלום, עטרת בלה, גם בשמחה ובשורה, תוך אמוני עם סגולה.
Yalanai lecha dodi, Yalanai nikra Kabbalat, Yalanai b'nei Shabbat, b'nei Shabbat Kabbalat. Yalanai lecha dodi, Yalanai nikra Kabbalat, Yalanai b'nei Shabbat, b'nei Shabbat Kabbalat.
And so as we turn to candle lighting, and I'll invite Julie to come up and join us to light our candles, I'll invite Rabbi to light the memorial candle, recognizing all those people who are unable to join us this Shabbat, unable to join us as we celebrate Shabbat. Yes.
As these candles give light to all those who behold them, so may we by our lives give light to all those who behold us, as their brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we in our own day be among those who kindle light.
And so would you light the candles for us, please?
Baruch atah Adonai Elohein melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotov v'tzivanu lachadlik nishal Shabbat.
Amen. And so just as we've greeted Shabbat, so to turn to each other, if there's anyone whose name you don't know, introduce yourselves, make sure that they feel warm and welcome.
שיר ליום השבת, טוב להודות לאדוני. מזמור שיר ליום השבת, טוב להודות לאדוני. ולזמר לשמך עליון, ולזמר לשמך עליון. להגיד בבוקר חסדך, ואמונתך בלילות. עלי עשור ועלי נבל, עלי היגיון וכינור. כי שמחתני אדוני בפועלך, במעשה ידיך רנן. מה גדלו מעשיך אדוני, מאוד עמקו מחשבותיך. איש בעל לא ידע, וכסיל לא יבין נצור, צדיק כתמר יפרח, כארץ בלבנון יסגר, שתולים בבית אדוני, בחצרות אלוהינו יפריחו, עוד ינבון בזבח, דשנים ורחנים יהיו, להגיד כי ישר אדוני, צורי ולא עוולתה בו.
Page 142, the angels bless us. May this week be as beautiful as this Shabbat. And just as you were greeted with soup and pastries and yummy bread, so too may this week be blessed and filled with blessing. Page 142.
Shalom Aleichem, Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Yon, Melech, Malachei Hamlachim, Akadosh, Akadosh Baruch Hu.
רוחם לשלום, מלכי השלום, מלכי עליון, מי מלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא.
Shalom Aleichem, Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Yon,
מי מלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש, הקדוש ברוך הוא. ברכוני לשלום, מלכי השלום, מלכי עליון, מי מלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא.
Shalom Aleichem, Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Yon,
מי מלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש, הקדוש ברוך הוא. שובכם, שובכם לשלום, מלכי השלום, מלכי עליון, מי מלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא.
Shalom Aleichem, Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Yon,
מי מלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש, הקדוש ברוך הוא.
We rise on page 144 for the Chatzi Kaddish and the call to prayer.
Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah.
Amen.
Ve'amat tivrah hiruteh, ve'yamlich malchuteh, v'chayechon uvyomechon, uv'chayedecho beit Yisrael.
בגלה, בגלה, ובזמן קריב.
ואמרו
אמן. יהי שמי רבה מבורך, נעלה מולל מעל מיה, יתברך,
יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל שם מלך קודשה
בריחו,
לעם כל ברכתה ושירתה
תושבחתה ונחמתה תמירן בעלמה
ואמרו
אמן.
ברכו את אדוני המבורך.
ברוך אדוני המבורך לעולם ועד.
Please be seated. We continue at the bottom of page 149, reading together. This is an hour of change. Within it we stand uncertain on the border of light. Shall we draw back or cross over? Where shall our hearts turn? Shall we draw back, my brother, my sister, or cross over? This is the hour of change, and within it we stand quietly on the border of light. What lies before us? Shall we draw back, my brother, my sister, or cross over? Baruch atah Adonai hama'ariv aravim.
אהבת עולם בית ישראל, עמך אתה. תורה ומצוות, חוקים ומשפטים, אותנו לימדת.
על כן אדוני אלוהינו, בשוכבנו ובקומנו, נשיח בחוקיך, ונשמח בדברי תורתך, ובמצוותיך לעולם ועד.
יהיה חיינו לאורך ימינו, ובהם נגה יומם ולילה.
וחובתך אל תסיר ממנו לעולמים. ברוך אתה אדוני אוהב עמו ישראל. שמע ישראל אדוני אלוהינו אדוני אחד. ברוך שם כבוד
מלכותו לעולם
ועד. ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך, ודיברת בעם, בשבתך בביתך, ובלכתך בדרך, ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך. ויאמר אדוני אל משה לאמור, דבר אל בני ישראל, ואמרת עליהם, ועשו להם ציצית על כנפי בגדיהם לדורותם, ונתנו על ציצית הכנף בתיר תכלת. והיה לכם לציצית וריתם אותו, וזכרתם את כל מצוות אדוני ועשיתם אותם, ולא תטורו אחרי לבבכם ואחרי אשר אתם זונים אחריהם, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם,
אדוני אלוהיכם אמת.
On the top of page 157, I'm noticing you don't like reading with me when I say read with me, so you can just sit back and listen. Standing on the parted shores of history, we still believe what we were taught before ever we stood at Sinai's foot, that wherever we go, it is eternally Egypt, that there is a better place, a promised land, that the winding way to that promise passes through the wilderness, that there is no way to get from here to there except by joining hands and marching together.
מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נדר בקודש, נורא תהילות עושה פלא, נורא תהילות עושה פלא.
מלכותך ראו בניך, חוקי הים לפני משה ומרים, זהי אנו ואמרו, אדוני לא לעולם ועד.
Yam bam bam bim bim bam, yam bam bam bim bam, yam bam bam bim bim bam, yam bam bam bim bam, ay ay la la la, yam bam bam bim bam, ay ay la la la, yam bam bam bim bam. ונאמר כפר אדוני את יעקב, וגאלו מיד חזק ממנו, ברוך אתה אדוני, גאל ישראל.
השכיבנו אדוני אלוהינו לשלום ועמידנו מלכנו לחיים ופרוס עלינו סוכת שלומך ותקננו בצד טובה מלפניך והושיענו למען שמך והושיענו למען שמך והגן בעדנו והסר מעלינו ושמור צאתנו ובואנו לחיים ולשלום מעתה ועד עולם ועד עולם.
ברוך אתה אדוני, הפורש סוכת שלום עלינו, ועל כל עמו ישראל ועל ירושלים. Blessed are you, eternal God, whose shelter of peace is spread over us, over all your people Israel, and most importantly over Jerusalem. On page 162, the people of Israel keep Shabbat, our covenant for all time.
ושמו ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדודם ולגדולם.
ביני ובין בני ישראל,
לעולם כי ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ.
וביום השביעי שבת בי נפש, וביום השביעי שבת בי נפש.
I just want to point out that still I cannot get that scene from Tangled out of my head every time we do this. You know, in the bar with a beer? Like, can you not
I
hear
had
that
a
melody?
dream?
Seriously? No, do you know what I'm talking about? No. You got to see Tangled. Take a kid if you need to, but it's worth it. And there's a scene in the bar where, I don't know, they're kind of quiet, like these crazy men with this big, gigantic
I had a dream. That's
beer.
what it is.
No, but
That's a
is it-
song. I had a dream. My kids watch it all the time. Trust me, I know.
Okay, never mind. All right, moving on.
I love it. It's good. Great show.
great
Page
show.
164. Please rise for the tefillah or the amidah, our standing prayer. We chant the first three benedictions as a community, and then we continue in silence, whether using the words of our prayer books or the words of our hearts. Feel free to be seated when you've concluded your personal prayer. 164.
אדוני שפתי תפתח ופי יגיד תהילתך. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו ואלוהי אבותינו ואמותינו, אלוהי אברהם, אלוהי יצחק ואלוהי יעקב, אלוהי שרה, אלוהי רבקה, אלוהי רחל, אלוהי לאה, האל הגדול, הגיבור והנורא, עליון, גומר חסדים טובים וקונה הכל, וזוכר חסדי אבות ואימהות, ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם, למען שמו באהבה, מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן, ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם ועזרת שרה. אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיה מתים אתה רב להושיע, משיב הרוח ומוריד הגשם, מזריח השמש ומוריד הטל, מחכה חיים בחסד, מחיים מתים ברחמים רבים, סומך נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר. מי כמוך בר הגבורות, ומדום מלך. מלך במיתו חיה, ומשמיח ישוע, ונאמן אתה לחיות מתים. ברוך אתה אדוני, מחיי המתים. אתה קדוש ושמך הקדוש, וקדושים בכל יום יהללוך סלה. ברוך אתה אדוני, האל הקדוש.
ניהול לרצונים רעיפי והגיון ליבי לפניך. אדוני צורי וגואלי, may the words of my mouth and the meditations of my heart be acceptable to you, O God, my rock and my redeemer. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ועל כל יושבי תבל, ואמרו, אמרו, אמן. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ועל כל יושבי תבל, ואמרו, אמרו, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ועל כל יושבי תבל, ואמרו, אמרו, amen.
Raise your hand if you've ever been in love. Oh, that's a beautiful thing. How do you know? You're still smiling? You just know? Warmth and comfort? Connection? It just seems right. It's like you just know. It just seems right. It's really hard to actually express that, to put in words. How do you know? Raise your hand if, this may be a bit revealing, if you love your parents. At least one of them. Raise your hand if you have loved a sibling. Raise your hand if you've loved a child. Again, might be revealing. Okay. Raise your hand if you've loved a grandchild. Raise your hand if you've loved a grandparent. Raise your hand if you've loved a friend. What's the difference? It's just about loving a person. It's simple, just like that, just about loving a person. That would have saved me 2 hours of my study session that I did the other day, but yeah. Distinguishing between familial love, friendship love, and romantic love. Well, there you go. You've just given us 3 categories. The point is, we don't have any, it's really hard to put into words. You just know is kind of the closest thing you can do it. By the way, when people talk to me about faith in God, and they say they don't believe in God, I said, how do you know? You know? And, it's the same thing about love. It's this thing that's not tangible, that's really, really hard to express. I want you to know, Cantor, for your sake, I bit my tongue and did not interject a million times, though I wanted to. I found myself, because I knew what I was going to talk about. But there are so many prayers in this service that are about love. And as I said to the kids in the kids' service earlier today, Shavuot is a metaphor for the marriage between God and the Jewish people, right? From Pesach to Shavuot, the Omer period, that's our courting period, and Shavuot is the marriage. It's the time to renew our vows, which we don't really do in Judaism, but it's the time to do that. Do you have your hand up? Oh, this is so exciting. You can find God within yourself, right? And with all life. I can argue the same thing with love. You can find love within yourself and within every living being if you try hard enough, right? And it's an interesting thing. I did just lose my train of thought, however. What was I just talking about beforehand? What was I just saying?
Love.
Yeah, well, obviously. Thank you. Okay, so I was talking about Shavuot, thank you. Shavuot and the marriage. On Shabbat, we have an opportunity every single week, again, to renew our commitment, to renew our love, to actually ask ourselves, what is this love all about? So we read the prayer, which, by the way, we just learned didn't have the word ba'ahava in it, with the ahavat olam. It's about the love of the world, God's love for us. We do the lecha dodi, which is like a wedding march. In fact, why I always go there and open the door, it's because it's like the bride coming in, the Shabbat bride welcoming us, and we all celebrate and rejoice in this love. So what happens when the love is so precious that you're so afraid to lose it that you cage it, that you find threats for it? Hopefully you don't know. Hopefully none of you know what that's like. But it's really interesting. In this week's Torah portion, right, on Shabbat, we're talking all about love and what love is. In this week's Torah portion, it introduces the concept of the sotah, of the adulterous woman. It's literally called the adulterous woman. And it's a crazy ritual that's in the Torah that for some reason the rabbis thought was so intriguing they decided to make an entire book of it in the Mishnah, in the Mishnah and the Talmud as well. And it's all about what do you do when you believe, as a husband in this case, believe that his wife is having an affair. And she is having an affair. And then they say, what happens for a husband who believes his wife is having an affair and she's not having an affair? Guess what? The Torah says you do the same thing. Right? It says that the husband was caught up in a fit of jealous rage, like madness. It's literally a jealous madness. And what happens? And we'll just point out it doesn't go the other way around, but we'll deal with that later, right? But what happens? It says that she has to mash together this water, this stuff that you, like muddy stuff that you put in it, and you make this mechaim, these bitter waters. You write the name of God. You put it in the bitter waters, so the name actually gets erased. The name of God is erased, and then the woman has to drink it. And this is my favorite part. If she drinks it and her thigh sags, she's guilty. Right. And if her thigh doesn't sag, then it's all good to go. Right, love that so much. Better than the Hammurabi Code that says that the adulterous woman is literally thrown into the river, and if she comes back up, she's not guilty, and if she drowns, then she is. You gotta love this, right? So I read the most interesting commentary by Rabbi Sarah Levine, talked about how even though it's talked about the sotah and the adulterous woman, it's actually about a jealous man. And where does jealousy come from? You know, we often think that love and hate are two sides and opposite sides, but love and jealousy, love and jealousy, where does the jealousy come from? Is it about control? Is it about fear of loss? Is it about insecurities? I mean, the answer is probably yes, 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 right? But where does that come from? And then where's the love in that? If it's about fear, if it's about insecurities, where's the love in that? And fascinating, which Rabbi Levine points out, is that when you put the paper in the water and you erase the name of God, that when a man or a partner is consumed with jealousy, God is erased. Right? There's no love there. You know, we're told that when the temple was destroyed, the Jewish people were like, where do we find God? And Rabbi Akiva said, we find God in the love, he said, between the husband and wife, but the love between two people, that precious love, right? That's where God is found. And when you've got jealousy, that's when love is erased. An interesting thing from the Proverbs, it says, patience rests in much understanding. Impatience results in foolishness. A calm disposition assures physical health, but jealousy rots the bones. Interesting. A person who commits adultery is devoid of sense, says our Proverbs. Only a self-destructive person does such a thing. Harmful decisions are made both by those who fail to understand the consequences. So our rabbis talk about the idea of infidelity and insanity are one and the same. The rabbis equate adultery and idolatry. It's cheating on God. Why is it so bad? People do it. Are they all terrible people? Probably not terrible people, right? Another modern commentary says the waters of bitterness actually deals with a psychological state that leads to adultery, that leads to infidelity. Listen very carefully, you two. Right? So why do you have all of this stuff? Because, when you start out, you're in love, everything's fine. You never imagine that. It's amazing. What happens as people get older at different times. But what leads to it? What leads to that sense of bitterness? That's a challenge, right? How do you have that communication? Where's the lack of trust? That fear and lack of trust breaks down communication, breaks down love, leads to actions that we don't think about the consequences, right? And whether it's in a romantic relationship, whether it's in a friendship, or whether it's in another type of familiar relationship, right? The Torah portion deals with adultery, but breaking down of trust and bitterness, it's there, it's real. It happens in all of our lives, right? So what do we learn from it? First thing we learn is don't just blame one person. Just saying. Like, seriously, don't just blame one person. Even if it's the adulterer, even if it's the person who betrays the trust. Why is that trust betrayed? What led to that? That takes two. It does. And so, stay tuned. Don't fear. Be honest. Be open. And love. As you said, God is found within and in everyone, so is love. So if we tap into that love when we're feeling fear or when we're feeling a lack of trust, then hopefully we will avoid the waters of bitterness in all of our relationships. We rise for the Aleinu on page 586, 586.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצא בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם. ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים
We remain standing for a few more moments as we turn to page 598 and we think of the cost of war, and we never forget. We think of Omer Zadikevich, 50 years old, who was murdered by Hamas terrorists just outside his home in Kibbutz Kfar Aza. He's survived by his 4 children, Liran, Netali, Lior, and Gali, his girlfriend Shimrit Sfarad, and her son Mayan, his mother Dina, and his 3 brothers, Nir, Yaniv, and Uri. His father Yoel died exactly a month before Omer was killed. Engraved on Yoel's gravestone, matching what was written on his father's, "My father, you will never be dead to me. The spirit of life you infused in me will stay in my heart forever." In the period of Shiva, we recognize Neil Brand. In the period of Shloshim, Aubrey Pitt, Heinz Wolf, Basil Ornelas, and Michael Livni. In addition, we recognize the yahrzeits that fall this Shabbat, or this week: Betty Ackerman, Ben Bellon, David Benjamin, Martin Curtis, Sidoni Dubiner, Jackie Geimer, Gary Hartman, Tom Hires, Israel Kippen, Norma Levin, Hal Levi, Malcolm Lutchner, Morris Markovich, Bray Markov, Helmut Menke, Graham Nathan, Margaret Perlstein, Jill Pomeroy, Gina Rose, Jenny Sederman, Montefiore Silberberg, John Silberberg, Arthur Simmelman, Helena Skop, Jenya Unglik, Martha Wiener, Harry Zipper, and Bernard Zipper. If there are other names, please call them out as I look around the room. In addition, we think of all those dying so unnecessarily, whether in the conflict in Israel or in Ukraine or elsewhere around the world. May their memories be for a blessing, and may these conflicts cease. Page 598, the words of Kaddish Yatom. יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה. ועל מה דברה חירותי וימליך מלכותי. בחייכון וביומכון, ובחיי לכל בית ישראל, בעגלה ובזמן קריב ואמרו אמן. יהי שמי רבה מבורך לעולם ולעלמי עלמיה. יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא. ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל שמי לקודשה בריחו. לעילה מן קל ברכתה ושירתה. תושבחתה ונחמתה, דא אמירן בעלמה ואמרו אמן. יהי שלמה רבה מן שמיה, וחיים עלינו ועל כל ישראל ואמרו אמן. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ואמרו אמן. May the one who creates harmony on high bring peace to us, to all of Israel, and to all of humanity. And we say, Amen. Amen. And so we remain standing for just another moment as I'm going to pass out a little bit of Kiddush wine and grape juice. If you would like to join us, thank you, Sylvie. The red is wine, the white is grape juice. If you want to grab a tray and pass
as
those.
he's doing that, I'm going to just do a quick announcement. This Sunday at 5 p.m., from 5 to 7, we are going to be having Josh Frydenberg do his presentation of his documentary Never Again, with Q&A following that. Should be interesting. You need to register to come. And the other thing, next Sunday, the 21st, from 3 to 5, is my induction. I hope you will all be there. Starting this Thursday, for 3 weeks in a row, Rabbi Danny Schiff is in town, and he's going to be running a series on Jewish ethics of violence and war. It should be most interesting. So stay tuned, lots coming up.
ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם בורא פרי הגפן.
אמן.
ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם אשר קידשנו במצוותיו ורצוונו ושבת קודשו באהבה וברצון הנחילנו זיכרון למעשה בראשית כי הוא יום תחילה למקרא קודש זכר ליציאת מצרים קיוונו בחרת ואותנו קידשת מכל העמים ושבת קודשך באהבה וברצון הנחלתנו ברוך אתה אדוני מקדש השבת. לחיים. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם המוציא לחם מן הארץ. Amen.
Shabbat,
Shabbat
shalom.
shalom.
Wishing you much love this Shabbat.
If you'll join us at the back of the hall, you'll find lovely Kiddush, pastries, bread, all sorts of things to eat. May you have a Shabbat filled with love and joy and blessing.
Shabbat shalom.
Hey, Shabbat shalom. Hey, Shabbat, 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 Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom. Hey, Shabbat shalom. Hey, Shabbat, 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 Shabbat shalom. Shabbat, 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 Shabbat shalom. Shabbat, 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 Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom. Hey, Shabbat.